I was
And
speaking on a
that help
stage
will
last
appear.
yeah. I was speaking on a stage last night and, we were talking about, what do you do when you're brought to your knees, right? And I said the same exact thing. I said, let me tell you a story. And I sort of laid out this story about how there was a girlfriend of mine. Um, well, actually, I'll rewind a little bit further. I was in a relationship with somebody. They broke my heart. I found out 2 days later while I was at work. I was in the entertainment industry at the time, working for a big comedian. And we were backstage, and my ex and my boss, this big comedian, were in cahoots on something. And so they still had a relationship, even though his and mine had ended. And I found out from this comedian, my boss, one of my best friends, that my ex, who I'd broken up with like 2 or 3 days prior, had already moved in with somebody else. I was at work hysterically crying, going to everybody that would listen to me backstage, like Grips and the person selling the merch who I knew, and like, what's wrong with me? I don't
Mm.
understand. What did I do to deserve this? And long story short, there was a friend of mine that was at the show that night, who was a very spiritual person, but at the same time was a no nonsense kind of person and was not afraid to speak her mind. And she basically said to me, "You're being a spoiled brat. You are playing the victim. You're reveling in it. You need to get your act together. You live a blessed life. You need to start a gratitude journal." I mean, she went after me a
Wow.
little much, but
Yeah.
woke me up. So
Yeah.
I drove home that night, half in shock at like her assaulting me with her wisdom, and half hysterically crying because I still felt so sad and like a victim, from the breakup and the clear cheating that had been happening. And the next day, I went to my friend who had just her 8-month-old baby had just died. And her husband, the day that her baby died, said, "I don't feel married to you anymore, and I'm leaving." And I went to her and I said, "I just don't understand how you're breathing. I just don't understand how you get up and walk around like the rest of us. I don't get it. How are you doing this? Teach me your ways." And she handed me a book and she said, "Read this book." And it was Conversations with God.